Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Second year class BTS. Hope you all students will be fine. So today's topic is antiplatelet agents. Arterial and venous thrombosis are the major causes of morbidity and mortality. Arterial thrombosis is the most common cause of acute myocardial infarction, ischemic stroke, and limb gangrene. Deep vein thrombosis leads to pulmonary embolism. Most arterial thrombi are superimposed on disrupted atherosclerotic plaques because the plaque rupture exposes thrombogenic material. This triggers platelet aggregation and formation of fibrin. This will also lead to generation of a platelet-rich thrombus that can temporarily or permanently occlude blood. In contrast, venous thrombi rarely form at the site of obvious vascular destruction. Mostly venous thrombi can develop after surgical trauma to veins or secondary to indwelling venous catheters. If the thrombi extend to more proximal veins of the leg, thrombus fragments can dislodge, travel to the lungs, and produce the pulmonary embolism. Arterial thrombi are rich in platelets because of the high shear in injured arteries. In contrast, venous thrombi they have low shear condition, they contain relatively few platelets, and venous thrombi are predominantly composed of fibrin and trapped red cells. Strategies to inhibit or treat arterial thrombosis focus mainly on antiplatelet agents, although in the acute setting they often include anticoagulants and fibrinolytic agents. Anticoagulants are the mainstay of prevention and treatment of venous thromboembolism, as fibrin is the predominant component. Fibrinolytic therapy is used in selected patients with venous thromboembolism. In healthy vasculature, circulating platelets are maintained in an inactive state. How they are maintained in an inactive state? Uh, uh, in healthy vasculature, the endothelial cell lining of the cells release nitric oxide and prostacyclin PGI2. In addition, endothelial cells also express ATPase that decrease ATP released from the activated platelets. Both nitric oxide and prostacyclin inhibit the aggregation of platelets, and endothelial cells also express ATPase which degrade ATP. ATP and 5-hydroxytryptamine is involved in the aggregation of platelets. Prostacyclin PIG2 also activates PGI2 receptors on the platelets. This activation increases CMP level, and whenever the level of CMP increases, it will inhibit the aggregation of platelet. CMP inhibits release of ATP and 5-hydroxytryptamine from the dense granules of the platelet. ATP and 5-hydroxytryptamine is involved in the aggregation of platelets. Adherent platelets undergo change in shape. Whenever there is absence of prostacyclin, there will be decrease in CMP. Excretion of ATP from the dense granules of platelets occurs, and there is also synthesis and release of thromboxane A2. Released ATP and thromboxane A2 are platelet agonists. They activate the platelets and recruit them to the site of vascular injury. When the vessel wall is damaged, there is release of nitric oxide, and nitric oxide release and prostacyclin release is impaired, and subendothelial matrix is exposed. Platelet adheres to exposed collagen via glycoprotein GP1 receptor on the surface. Platelets adhere to von Willebrand factor present in the subendothelial matrix via glycoprotein 2b3a. Disruption of the vessel wall also exposes tissue factor 3 present in the subendothelial region. Tissue factor initiates coagulation. Also, the activated platelets potentiate coagulation by binding clotting factors, which will support the assembly of activation complexes. This will enhance the generation of thrombin. Antiplatelet drugs target various steps in the process. In this process, the most commonly antiplatelet drugs are aspirin, thienopyridines, which include clopidogrel, prasugrel, and triclopyridine. Next drug is dipyridamole, glycoprotein 2b3 antagonist, which include apiximab, eptifibatide, tirofiban. Newer antiplatelet drugs include ticagrelor, thrombin receptor blockers, which include vorapixel. Aspirin is the most widely used antiplatelet agent worldwide. Mechanism of action of aspirin. Aspirin blocks the production of thromboxane A2 by acylating a serine residue near the active site of platelet cyclooxygenase 1. The action of aspirin on platelet cyclooxygenase 1 is permanent, lasting for the life of the platelet, that is 7 to 10 days. Complete inactivation of platelet COX-1 is achieved with a daily aspirin dose of 75 mg. Maximally aspirin is effective at doses of 50 to 320 mg per day. At higher doses, around about 1 gram per day, it also inhibits COX-2, which COX-2 is responsible for the synthesis of prostacyclin, and prostacyclin is a potent inhibitor of platelet aggregation. So higher doses of aspirin are potentially less efficacious, and also increases the risk of toxicity, especially the risk of bleeding. Now the indications of aspirin. It is used for secondary prevention of cardiovascular events in patients with coronary artery disease, patients with cerebrovascular disease, or peripheral vascular disease. Compared with placebo, aspirin produces a 25% reduction in the risk of cardiovascular death, myocardial infarction, and stroke. When rapid platelet inhibition is required, dose of at least 160 mg is given. Side effects of aspirin include dyspepsia. These effects are dose-related, erosive gastritis, peptic ulcers with bleeding, and perforation. The overall risk of major bleeding with aspirin is 1 to 3% per year. Hepatic and renal toxicity are observed with aspirin overdosage. The risk of bleeding is increased when used with warfarin. Contraindications is that whenever there is history of aspirin allergy characterized by bronchospasm. In some patients, when there is history of asthma, aspirin trigger the acute attack of asthma. So in these patients, aspirin is contraindicated. Next drug is dipyridamole. Mechanism of action of dipyridamole is that it interferes with the platelet function by increasing the cellular concentration of cAMP, by decreasing the metabolism of cAMP to 5-AMP, by inhibiting cyclic nucleotide phosphodiesterase, as phosphodiesterase is involved in metabolism of cAMP. Whenever concentration of cAMP increase, platelet aggregation is inhibited. Dipyridamole also inhibits adenosine deaminases. Other properties of dipyridamole is that it is a potent coronary vasodilator. It has minimal effect on blood pressure and cardiac work or cardiac output. Now the uses of that drug. The drug has little or no benefit as an antithrombotic effect, so it is used in combination with warfarin. In the prophylaxis of coronary and cerebral thrombosis of post-myocardial infarction and post-stroke patients. In patients with prosthetic heart valves, it also inhibits embolization. Dosage is 150 to 300 mg given BT. Adverse effects of dipyridamole include exacerbation of angina, headache, tachycardia, and GIT distress. Triclopyridine platelets contain two pirinergic receptors P2Y1 and P2Y12. Both are G protein coupled receptors for ADP, and they require ADP for its activation. P2Y1 induces a change in shape and helps in platelet aggregation, while P2Y12 inhibits adenyl cyclase, so causes platelet activation, increases the adhesiveness of platelets. Triclopyridine is a prodrug that inhibits the P2Y12 receptor. It is converted to the active thiol metabolite by hepatic enzyme. It is rapidly absorbed and highly bioavailable. It permanently inhibits the P2Y12 receptor by forming a disulfide bridge in the extracellular region of the receptor. It has a short half-life but a long duration of action. Maximum inhibition of platelet aggregation is not seen until 8 to 11 days after starting the therapy. Dose is 250 mg twice daily. Adverse effects of that drug include the most common of adverse effects are nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea, severe neutropenia. Fatal agranulocytosis with thrombocytopenia has occurred within the first months of the therapy. Rare side effect and serious side effect is thrombotic TTP, HUS, which is thrombotic thrombocytopenic purpura hemolytic uremic syndrome. In this disorder, there is thrombosis. Arterial thrombosis may occur in the arteries, and then it will lead to renal failure. But this order occur very rarely in case of like in 1/1600 to 4800 patients. Therapeutic uses. Diclofenac has been shown to prevent cerebrovascular events and in secondary prevention of stroke because it is associated with life-threatening adverse effects which is related to blood. It has largely been replaced by another drug, clopidogrel. Now, clopidogrel, it is closely related to diclofenac. It is an irreversible inhibitor of the platelet P2Y12 receptors. It is more potent and has a more favorable toxicity profile than diclofenac. Mean it has less adverse effects as compared to diclofenac. It is a prodrug with a slow onset of action. The usual dose is 75 mg per day. Now, the uses of diclofenac. The drug is somewhat better than aspirin in the secondary prevention of stroke. The combination of clopidogrel plus aspirin is superior to aspirin alone for prevention of recurrent ischemia in patients with unstable angina. Uh, it is helpful after angioplasty and coronary stent implantation. It has also been used to reduce the rate of stroke, to reduce myocardial infarction and death in patients with recent myocardial infarction or stroke, in cases of established peripheral artery disease, in cases of acute coronary syndrome. Clopidogrel resistance. The capacity of clopidogrel to inhibit ATP-induced platelet aggregation varies among subjects. This variability is because of genetic polymorphism in the CYP isoenzymes involved in the metabolic activation of clopidogrel. Most important of that enzyme is CYP2C19. Clopidogrel treated patients with the loss of function of CYP2C19 allele exhibit reduced platelet inhibition compared with those patients with having that wild type CYP2C19. Cardiovascular events. This is important because 25% of whites, 30% of African Americans, and 50% of Asians carry the loss of function allele. This will render them resistant to clopidogrel. So to such patients, prasugrel or newer P2Y12 inhibitors may be better choice. Next drug is prasugrel. This also is a prodrug that requires metabolic activation. However, its onset of action is more rapid than that of diclofenac or clopidogrel. It produces greater and more predictable inhibition of ATP-induced platelet aggregation. Rapid and complete absorption of prasugrel from the gut occur. Virtually all of the observed prasugrel undergoes activation. It has prolonged effect after discontinuation, so this can be problematic if the patients require urgent surgery. There is risk for bleeding unless it is stopped at least 5 days prior to the procedure. The drug is contraindicated in those with a history of cerebrovascular disease. In this case, high risk of bleeding may occur. This drug should be used caution in patients with renal impairment. Next drug is glycoprotein inhibitors. Glycoprotein 2B3A is a platelet surface integrin. There are about 80,000 copies of this dimeric glycoprotein on the surface of platelet. Glycoprotein 2B3A is an inactive on resting platelets. It undergoes conformational transformation when platelets are activated by thrombin, collagen, or thromboxane A2. This conformation endows glycoprotein with the capacity to serve as a receptor for fibrinogen and von Willebrand factor. This anchor platelets to foreign surfaces and to each other, thereby mediating aggregation. Thus, inhibitors of these receptors are potent antiplatelet agents. Abciximab, it is the Fab fragment of a humanized monoclonal antibody directed against the alpha-2b beta-3 receptor. It binds to the vitronectin receptor on platelets, vascular endothelial cells, and smooth muscle cells. Uses of abciximab in cases of patients undergoing percutaneous angioplasty for coronary thrombosis to prevent restenosis, recurrent myocardial infarction, and death. Plasma half-life is around about 30 minutes, but antibody remains bound to alpha-2b beta-3b receptor and inhibits platelet aggregation for at least 18 to 24 hours after infusion. Dose is 0.25 milligram per kg bolus infusion followed by 0.1 to 5 gram per kg per minute for 12 hours or longer. Adverse effects of the drug. The major side effect is bleeding. Contraindications are similar to those for the fibrinolytic agents like broad intracranial hemorrhage. These are contraindications. The use of drug: known structure cerebrovascular lesion, known malignant intracranial neuroplasm. Next drug is eptifibatide. Eptifibatide is a cyclic peptide inhibitor on alpha 2 beta 3. It is used as a bolus of 180 microgram per kg followed by 2 microgram per kg per minute for up to 96 hours. It is used to treat acute condom and for angioplastic coronary interventions. Now this is your assignment. Write on the mechanism of action and uses of dipyridamole. It appears that its benefit is somewhat less than that obtained with the epciximab because it is specific for alpha 2b beta 3 and does not react with other receptor. Other receptor is vitronectin receptor. Platelet aggregation is restored within 6 to 12 hours after cessation of infusion. Eptifibatide generally is administered in conjunction with aspirin and heparin. Adverse effect of the drug is bleeding and thrombocytopenia, which occur in 0.5 to 1% of the patients. Next drug is tirofiban. It is a non-peptide small molecule inhibitor of alpha 2b beta 3. It appears to have a mechanism of action similar to eptifibatide. It has a short duration of action and has less efficacy in non-Q wave myocardial infarction and unstable angina. Side effects are similar to eptifibatide. It does not react with vitronectin receptor. The value in antiplatelet therapy after myocardial infarction is limited. New antiplatelet drugs include cancrelor and ticagrelor, direct-acting reversible P2Y12 antagonists. Ticagrelor is an orally active drug, reversible inhibitor of P2Y12. It produces greater and more predictable inhibition of ATP-induced platelet aggregation in patients with acute coronary syndrome. It is a more rapid onset and offset of action. Dose is 90 mg. Tablets are available. When compared with clopidogrel, ticagrelor produces greater reduction in cardiovascular death, myocardial infarction, and stroke at 1 year. No differences in rates of major bleeding. Next drug is vorapexor. It's an active, high affinity, potent, and competitive reversible antagonist of PAR1 expressed on platelets. So it blocks thrombin mediated platelet activation. Bioavailability is 100%. Indications is to reduce the thrombotic cardiovascular events in patients with history of myocardial infarction. Adverse effects are clinical significant adverse bleeding may occur, anemia, depression, intracranial bleeding. Contraindications include history of stroke, transient ischemic attack, and intracranial hemorrhage. So that's all. Today's topic is covered. Now you have to listen the topic carefully, and then you have to give the assignment.